But the view that is what I said earlier, that Julius, as much as he's the greatest asset of the EFF, is also their biggest threat. And people like Mbuyiseni have already seen it. I saw it in 2022, by the way, in my first year when I joined the EFF, that this guy is a problem. Because he would just, unprovoked, say very, very inconsiderate that has to do with the former deputy president. Why is this thing still here? He says, no. Tyler says, the man never saw it, but if he sees it, he's going to shout at me. And then I saw, no, there are multiple inconsistencies in the EFF. So this tells you now, the Students' Command was done away with, simply because it was single-handedly conceptualized by Floyd. The very same way that picture is removed now in the studios of the EFF, because of what they said to President Cyril Ramaphosa. It was Senzo Mkhunu who narrowly lost to Isma Kashuga. So that is an ally of Cyril. This is the guy who was collecting all the Tumamina money in KZN, giving it to delegates and everything. So these are political allies, and there were plans for the man that he must be the deputy president. He had president deliberately absent in the when it came to the testimonies of those two individuals. Those are his people, we know. Bokasel Matale, these are voters of the EFF, for that matter. And the idea to deal with Mkhunu, they think or necessarily at some point will appoint Castle as the Minister of Police, and it's not going to happen. Because they know what appointing Castle to the president. But I don't know if he's able to do that. But as of now, I can tell you for free that he's going to be the president of the EFF for the next 15 to 20 years. Because in the next conference, his presidency is already sealed. Godrich Gadi is not going to be the president of the EFF. And I can, even in the next two conferences, it's done.
To make it seem as if the MK is unstable and people are leaving MK simply because of Comrade Floyd Shivambu is a lie. It's a propagated propaganda by dark forces who want to hijack our revolution, and they are using Duduzile Zuma to do it because they are taking advantage of the fact that they know that she's politically inexperienced and she's likely going to do anything that they tell her to do it. So, as forces of the future, comrades, we know where the future lies. The future lies with the MK party, and if that is the case, we must actually support and rally behind the Secretary General, Commander Floyd Shivambu, who is persistently being undermined by dark forces of our revolution. And he is not even posting and replying back simply because he's a disciplined cadre with iron discipline. So let us rally behind the Secretary General, Comrade Floyd Shivambu, in the midst of this injustice that is happening. And we also call upon all young people, all students to...
Zuma has assassinated politically a person of Julius Malema in your stature. A bomb like you, he has assassinated until it was rejuvenated somewhere and resuscitated in the form of EFF. Jacob Zuma has silenced someone that he has once assassinated in the Feast Must Fall movement. President Jacob Zuma is responsible, with Cyril Ramaphosa, of course, to killing the EFF clique of economic freedom fighters from Nazareth. So what I'm trying to say, in other words, is you are someone that Jacob Zuma does not like. If you consider joining MK, would you want to put that at the back of your mind?
I think, I don't know, because I don't know what I'll join next, but on the other hand, I'm a fan of the politics of President Zuma.
No, well, thanks very much, comrades from all walks of life. My name is Kganki Mphahlele, and I'm here for one thing and one thing alone. To first remind ourselves that we are young people who are too young to be understanding, who do not equally have political tolerance. We are here to welcome the death of Pravin Gordhan, the former Minister of the Republic, an apartheid apologist, a Stellenbosch askari, a butcher of the working class, and a destroyer of black families. Pravin must die, and we do not regret when we say he must die. Some said he must account before he dies, but equally to us, his death and accounting and rotting in jail is equivalent. So therefore, we categorically welcome the death of Pravin Gordhan.
Not doing it for divisive reasons. I'm genuine about this thing. If the EFF wants to save itself, I equally posted yesterday to say the future of the EFF is going to be determined by the inclusion or the exclusion of Dr. Ndlozi in the third NPA amongst women.
Is the NGC confirmed that it will take place, and do you have a date?
The NGC, you must remember, it happens 3 years after conference of the...
It's a mid-year conference. It's a mid-term.
It's a mid-term review, so
yeah.
You can always know it happens in 2005, 2010, 2015, 2020, 2025. That's where you know the NGC is going to be. Much like you know the conference of the ANC is going to be in the years after, the year that ends with either a 2 or a 7.
But do you think it will happen?
17.
Do you think Cyril and his leadership would allow such to happen?
No, it's not even up to them. It must happen. It's whether they like it or not. It's like saying they can stop a conference in 2027. We know it's happening. The NGC is also.
Well, I'm not so confident, but it's fine. Let's cross our fingers and see if it will happen, and especially where will it happen. I don't see it going to KwaZulu-Natal, by the way. Okay. Mashiane Politically Incorrect. He finally came. Kganki Mphahlele. What I've done is, because of the short time we have, those clips I just tried to show you who Kganki Mphahlele is. So when we get into this conversation, you already know who he is without me explaining myself. Number one, Nolibabalo Mninga. What do you think about her?
No, I think she's confused.
Why?
I mean, she lacks political acumen. Whatever the fights that may be political, I mean, you can't go out there and say, no, you're having a political fight with someone because they're not giving you a salary. You want to pay fees for your kids. In a party that is 4 months old, a party that is new. So it's lack of political acumen. I mean, like, if she was a spy or anything, a agent provocateur, she wasn't even supposed to craft her tactics like that. She could have done better. Because now everyone sees what here or not, we don't have a case. We're dealing with a clown who's just... wants to destabilize the movements, because I mean, like, she no longer even has those media interviews that she used to have. So every now and then she just posts whatever she posts about is just posting about the president of my way, Comrade Floyd, and we can all see, or no, this is much like obsession. There is nothing political here. There is no case, so she must not even be taken serious.
Do you like Floyd Nyubo, the Karl Marx of Mahonesi, because you hate Julius Malema?
No. I mean, like ourselves, even when we're still members of the EFF, when we're still associated with the EFF, the person who resonated with us more was Comrade Floyd. I mean, like, I remember when I was still a member, I think at some point we were in the SRC trip to Mpumalanga in White River. I discussed with cabinet members to say, but comrades, it was in 2022. I said, comrades, if we're being honest about the EFF, this guy, Julius, as much as he is our best asset, is also our greatest threat, existential threat of the EFF, because some of the things that he says, he's deliberately scoring own goals to sabotage the growth of the EFF. And then now, when I listen to Floyd, I say, oh no, this is the guy who actually makes sense. He can take an interview, he can give a lecture about Marx, Fanon, Lenin, without scoring a single own goal. And by the way, ever since the EFF characterizes itself as a Marxist-Leninist Fanonian organization, but ever since Floyd left, not even a single Karl Marx, Vladimir Lenin or Fanon lecture has been hosted. So we can tell you for free match that the political ideology of the EFF is gone. The EFF is now like a party that has gone mad. So we don't like Floyd because we hate Julius. We campaigned for Julius last year, by the way, in the elections. We voted for EFF when everyone thought we were going to vote for MK, which wasn't really the case. Our case was simply that, no, there must be there must be a united bloc in the politics of the left, given that we see what we see with the GNU, the marriage of the DA and the ANC. So we don't actually like Floyd because we hate Julius. And in any case, we don't particularly hate Julius. We just have a problem with his politics. We know that he's compromised, and that's a fact.
Has your love for Comrade Jacob Zuma dwindled?
No, we still love Ubaba. We just don't agree with how he handled the matter. And we think, no matter, I mean, like, love in this case is just subjectivity. And in politics, we must be objective. As much as we love the old man, we can say, he failed us. And that decision alone has kind of contaminated black politics, because people for a very long time, you always had this black population that have been saying, yeah, black people can't govern, joining this white liberals and just white people in general. The black liberals have been saying, why black people can't govern, everything that is associated with blackness cannot flourish. That decision of President Jacob Zuma dealing with Comrade Floyd like that, Secretary General Floyd like that, I mean, like, we can't associate with that decision. But we love the old man. But now, understanding that sometimes, because of, as Floyd characterizes, gullibility that comes with age, and people, political scoundrels who surround the old man, he just sometimes take reactionary and sometimes even conservative decisions.
People are saying yourself, Floyd Shivambu, and a lot of people who are diplomatic in your approach to Jacob Zuma are actually afraid to call Ndlozi when he's wrong. You'd rather say he's surrounded by people who make him make bad decisions. But people who come from his hands, they actually say it's him. So I just want to have this balance. You know, Floyd has said everything wrong about MK and the people around Zuma, but he's afraid to say Zuma has done this. Do you think when we criticize you on that, we are being fair? And you think Jacob Zuma is innocent of all these things that are happening?
No. Advocate Moses Kakane tells us very well that Zuma creates irrationality. Those who love him think he's innocent, and those who hate him think he's guilty of everything. So ourselves were just simply saying, oh no, he's an old man, he's a leader of the society, an elder statesman, whom at the end of the day, no matter how subjectivity overwhelms us, we still have to give him that respect. But I mean, like, on a personal level, I lashed him multiple times before, especially when the people who were saying, no, this man never sold out, this man never aligned with capital. At some point in the last year of Barack Obama, when he was the president of the United States, I think it was in 2016, at some point we had this anti-doping law as the South African government to say there is no country that must come and throw away their things in our country. It's going to kill the markets. For example, then what Obama did to the men,
anti-dumping.
Yeah, anti-dumping, not anti-doping.
Yes.
That's a spot thing.
Sure.
So Obama in the last year said to South African government that we are going to dump our American chicken in South Africa, or else we are going to take out AGOA. The men retreated. So if he never bowed down or succumbed to capital, then why did he retreat? Mbalula not so long ago said, if he is all powerful and all these things, he fired Paravin, Rupert told him, I'm going to undermine your economy, and he reinstated him. That's the weekend special that we're dealing with of Des Van Rooyen. So I'm not particularly, I know his flaws. It's just that I just find there is no need for me.
So you agree with me when I say Jacob Zuma dealt a difficult blow to the character of Des Van Rooyen twice.
Absolutely.
And he had, I mean, the first one you could blame him because he can say he was doing it for the country. But this time around, he needed to take care of the man who has been loyal to him for the longest of time. Do you also blame him like I do?
You know, first of all, I think the decision to fire Dr. Hlophe was kind of, I don't understand it, because now even they say the acting party leader. I'm sure you noticed.
I know, we're not sure until this thing comes.
Hey, that's the thing about the old man.
So I want you to sit here and talk, but some of these things are difficult because MK does not even want to hold a press conference to tell us indeed those people who are in Russia are their people or not. Say yes or nay, so we know where we stand from. Because I think what they want to do is they enjoy us speaking by reading between the lines, and you know there are people that want to sit there and say, yeah, fellow, you hate Ubaba.
Hey, no.
But we don't have anything written to talk about him. But I'll leave it to you.
So the thing about the old man is that he's a smooth operator. He's a very, very sophisticated political operator. He can, Vusi at some point says, he's always 5 steps ahead of everyone in terms of strategy and tactics, because all of the Zondo Commission, we know his corruption and stuff like that. He was a president for 9 years, president of the ANC for 10 years. There is no way he never engaged in any corrupt activity.
Yeah.
But you had the whole Zondo Commission, whereby it was all against him, but there is no one who has been able to produce one single email and said it came from him. Very, very sophisticated individual, by the way. When it comes to political operation, he's a smooth operator. So we don't hate him. It's just that those who love him, who think everyone hates Uaba, no, they just do whatever they want to persecute him, blah, 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 blah. Those are just ignorant people. Majority of them are guided by what is Gogo Obrimachik called a Zulu nationalistic impulse. So an impulse, when you are under an...
You just defend even before you know the narrative.
Exactly.
If it's left or right.
Exactly.
Because you're going with 100% Zulu boy.
Exactly. Yeah, even if you remember the issue of Kwezi, there was some people who said, no, I remember there was a placard. I checked it. They said, no, Zuma didn't rape. Kwezi raped Zuma. So what is that? So people are not logical when they come to these issues of the old man. And it works for him. That's why he never calls it out. He will never call them out. He knows it works for him.
Are you disappointed that Mashiane Ndlozi, the doctor, left active politics for the media?
I don't think I'm disappointed because, I mean, like, if we look into things, he left when? He left it around January. And he has always been clear that, the EFF characterizes me as a spy of the MK. And remember, it's also Dr. Mashiane who said, comrades, we are the ones who insulted this man, we are the ones who made this man fall. We removed him from office. There is no way we must smile with him now for political convenience.
He's been very consistent, even leading to the elections.
So he told them that, no, don't this thing of Nkandla, blah, blah, blah. And they said, no, he doesn't understand strategy and tactics. Okay, they went to Nkandla, they agreed, or no, they were not going to insult each other. Ahead of the elections, he's the only EFF leader who said, no. Intelligent. He was addressing students, by the way. He said,
I was in attendance and I could not get his opinion because they rushed him out because I went to that for that Indaba youth activation precisely to talk to him about the stance of Jacob Zuma, but I missed it.
So Dr. Mashiane is the man who has been consistent when it comes to the issue of...
Are you disappointed
that he left politics? No, I don't blame him. I can't talk about disappointment. I don't blame him. We're clear. Black politics are contaminated. Prince Mashele told us that on SNWX that I don't even have to worry about MK's Prince Mashele. The MK is not even going to last for a very long time. The moment JZ is senile or is no more, that thing is going to fall apart like a house of cards, which is true. Because even now, let's say the old man retires because we don't wish him away. We don't want him to go anywhere. Let's say he retires. Who becomes the president of MK?
It's impossible to have a president of the MK while Jacob Zuma is still alive.
So
and I say it with the greatest of respect. They can argue with me, but I don't see it ever happening. Number two, do you believe that Mashiane was patched with intelligence recording that would, either way, whoever would have produced it would have compromised the party and the individuals involved?
No, there was no one who produced it. It's a fake intelligence report. It's one of them.
But people are alleging that there were tapes.
Well, it's a lie. I mean, like, who do you say? It's like that one of Floyd whereby they say, no, he was communicating with leaders in the African community. He says in a meeting, here is my phone, search it. And provide those tapes. They refuse. So you see, oh no, this thing's just a fake and bizarre.
I know the Jacob Zuma intelligence report.
Even the one
we know it's very legendary.
Even the one, they were dealt with when they were in the COSAT with fake intelligence report. Even the one of Mashiane, I can tell you for free. Mashiane was simply dealt with simply because he's seen as someone when the EFF was formed. At the founding table, Floyd was the one who brought him all the way from Vets to say, no, this is our guy.
But you do understand and you take cognizance of the fact that Mashiane was in the cabal that seems to suggest that the organization called the EFF and Julius Malema have hit a tangent. They can no longer grow with Julius being on the helm because he was leading that. He was of the view that let's let Mushabi lead from the back or lead from somewhere. And the narrative suggests that you sitting close with them because I know people confided in you. Do you believe that?
Remember, Floyd had already left, right?
Yeah.
So, but the view that is what I said earlier, that Julius, as much as he's the greatest asset of the EFF, is also their biggest threat. And people like Mashiane have already seen it. I saw it in 2022, by the way, in my first year when I joined the EFF, that this guy is a problem. Because he would just, unprovoked, say very, very inconsistent stuff that are inconsistent with the founding manifesto.
Then the organization has to shift itself towards him.
Hey.
And then he'd make a tangent. The organization again shift towards that.
I mean, like, on the other hand, he's a president of the EFF. If the organization moves from him, he's still going to form part of the CCT as an ex officio.
Yes.
So this is someone that you can say in a case like this, okay, there is no political, that you are not taking to the dustbin. He can go and be if the EFF makes a deal to join the GNU, he's someone who can go and be a member of the cabinet. You don't get rid of him. Yeah, that is important because in any case, he will forever hold a constituency in the EFF. So he's someone who must come and campaign and not be like Tawombeki, whom when Zuma is the president, he says, no, we're not going to campaign. He comes, he campaigns with the same love of the EFF that he had when he was still the president. But I don't know if he's able to do that. But as of now, I can tell you for free that he's going to be the president of the EFF for the next 15 to 20 years. Because in the next conference, his presidency is already sealed. Bodrich Gadi is not going to be the president of the EFF. And even in the next two conferences, it's done.
So, and I want to understand this very carefully. I've done a lot of my views on Malema, by the way. Yeah. I just want to ask something. We don't have benefit of the weather because the storm has reached us. Do you think it's a deliberate ploy by Julius Malema to, number one, stop the advancement of a labor entity within EFF? Number two, stopping the youth league in the EFF. Do you think this thing, because he's alleged to be the one who doesn't like it, because they say he wants to centralize all power?
Correct.
But I still think he can do it because I'm not as politically astute as Julius Malema is. I regard him as the greatest political mind of our generation. He knows what he's doing. But people are alleging that he doesn't want a student wing called a youth league. Maybe the student command is a bit controllable. But I don't know, and I'm not convinced. I just want you to know because you worked in these spheres.
So I can tell you for free. The constitution of the EFF, that is where it talks about the establishment of the youth command, the students command, the women's command. There must be 3 wings that are operating at the same time, but it will never allow it to happen.
Wait, I want you to say it on record clearly for everyone to hear. You're saying the constitution does actually offer members to advance this thing.
Absolutely.
It is people who, okay, the reason I'm using people, I don't want to absolve the other leaders. It is the CCT and others who are not supporting the advancement of these leagues.
No, it's not the CCT.
It's Julius.
It's him. Because, I mean, the CCT understand the worry. Okay, if you have multiple structures, it means you have multiple leaders on the ground.
Yes.
Those leaders have a responsibility at the end of the day. Women to go and mobilize women. Students to go and mobilize students. Youth to go and mobilize youth. And there is only one reason why he decided to dissolve the students' command. It's simply because of the conversation that Ndlozi posted of him and Floyd, whereby Floyd told Sishe that I installed you as the president of the students' command when no one wanted you. So don't do these things of insulting me for joining MK. I'll tell you now as well. The truth of the matter is that it's true. Mafia Fane in 2022, the councillor in Mpumalanga, yes, very, very progressive fellow, by the way. Yes. We must never be jealous of him, even though we're not members. Is the one who won that conference to be the president. Sishe was declared to be the president. And it's true, he was installed. By who at that time? Deputy President Nyoko Floyd Shivambu, whose job description as the deputy president was to oversee stuff like the students' command, the GTU. So is the truth. Now, the fact that Floyd said, I installed you as the president of the student command, which I single-handedly conceptualized, is what gets to Julius. Or okay, it seems like we are operating with things that Floyd conceptualized here. You know that I once went to the podcast of the EFF and they did not air it. It was right after you went to Gauteng Ground Forces Forum and said, everything that reminds us of the former deputy president, we must do away with it. And then when I get to that interview, that podcast, the studio of the EFF a week later, I still see that big image of the march whereby Julius is next to Floyd and Marshall. I asked Titus, who left the EFF for now, by the way, for the ANC. I asked God, no. The commander-in-chief says, we must do away with everything that has to do with the former deputy president. Why is this thing still here? He says, no. Titus says, the man never saw it, but if he sees it, he's going to shout at me. And then I saw, no, there are multiple inconsistencies in the EFF. So this tells you now the students' command was done away with. simply because it was single-handedly conceptualized by Floyd. The very same way that picture is removed now in the studios of the EFF. Because of what? They said we want to do away with everything that has to do with the former deputy president. That is why even leaders like Mbuyiseni were patched, because they were seen as fellows who are associated with the former deputy president. Even others who were written, they write a letter for you to resign in the EFF, by the way. You don't just resign. When Komisar Mbuyiseni said, I resigned on myself, I laughed. Because he went on to reveal on SABC that no, he was actually told to resign.
Okay, number one. Titus had a fallout with you, and to an extent that he even abused you on social media. I could not get hold of Titus. I tried very much. Titus received lots of bad information about me, even though I cried to say, Titus, man, hear me out. All I want is you and I to sit down to have this podcast. And I was told by people that they told Titus not to come here, but Titus could not tell me. So I took advantage of, because Titus has left the EFF, maybe he will speak to me, but I think he's not keen. So I just want to ask you, have you forgiven Titus?
Of course. No, I never had it. No, those communists of the EFF who insult people, just take them as political zombies. And the reason why they are like that is because they are members of the EFF. I can tell you for free now, you know, Titus used to insult me, like badly so.
Yeah.
Now he's in the ANC. He will no longer go around insulting people acting like a barbarian as if he's a card-carrying member of the EFF. That thing, that the element of insults in Titus is simply because he was a card-carrying member of the EFF. I mean, go to SMWX, listen to Floyd. He tells us very well that no, there is not, these young people, the limitations that comes with this young people and students activities is that they think insults are revolutionary. That's why he told us, no, they'll say, this one has a big nose, this one has a big word, this one can walk properly, that and that. They think that's politics. There is no Marx, there is no Lenin there in those insults. There is no Che Guevara. He even says Lenin was the most robust of revolutionaries to ever exist in the last 200 years. He used to even characterize the politics of his opponents, but never has Lenin insulted an opponent. He just used to characterize this one has got better politics, not this one has an ugly face and ugly nose. So
thank you.
These are issues that we're dealing with.
Because we are closing, I predicted when I spoke to Zizipo to say, I don't see Floyd having more than 3 seats. At best, he can have 2, but I bet he will have 1 if he lasts until 2029. But 2026 is going to be very embarrassing for him, because we'll have to choose which municipalities to take on. I don't see him taking all municipalities. The organization is not growing. And so that's me. I want to hear from you. What are the prospects of my way?
I think he's going to have a better 2029. If he's humbled, if my boy is humbled in 2026, I think they're going to have a better 2029. Because they should be able, at least, I mean, like, the craft between local government elections and general elections is that, I mean, like, you can get 1 million votes all over the country in local government elections, but that does not automatically mean you have councillors.
Yes.
But when it comes to general elections, 1 million votes, that's a lot. So that's why I can tell you for free that no, as much as the party will try to find itself around the municipalities, if it's not successful, 2029 is going to be a better one.
Hold it there. The reality of our South African politics, and people are shy to talk about it. They say Julius Malema is stronger in Limpopo and Northwest, and even there he's not winning municipalities. I'm packing it. Ndlozi is stronger in Mpumalanga and KwaZulu-Natal. And these areas I'm deliberately pointing out, it's where he's stronger. Doesn't mean he exists there only. This is where they are stronger. And their strength has to do with their cultural and tribal background. Would it be wise for Floyd Shivambu to ignore what the people would say because he wants to blend himself as a metropolitan organization? Would it be good for him to invest a lot in your area of Penipeni and Punane Makuele in Giyani and Malamulele, where he could actually take the Mopani district municipality if it works very well, and maybe some areas in and around Limpopo, because here in the urban areas, I mean, you've got we've got great candidates like Dr.
Nasiphi
Olanu Khumalo, Nasiphi Moya, who are dwindling, who are taking like very, very strong people like Tata Morero and Helen Zille. For him to come and overtake these people with PR councillors is going to be a tall order. This is me thinking of the way things are now. This is November 2025. I'm thinking now, based on the stand that I'm seeing now, what would you advise for him to do?
I think in terms of the metros, we have around 7 metros in South Africa. And at least we need the best of the best to go and be candidates. Don't send lightweights to go there and say they're contesting. They'll get a therapy, they'll be shocked.
But he doesn't have any.
Yeah, so...
He will have to parachute people from outside to go and make them mayoral candidates.
Which, the politics of the MK taught us that we shouldn't actually have a problem with people coming from outside as long as they are the best quality. So I don't have a problem with that if that happens. Even himself.
Our policies are politics of the queue. People love queuing. So I'm second in line and then you parachute someone. It means you don't have trust in me. By the way, it's exactly the same reason 100% Zulu Boy came into the picture, because they felt...
It's a queue.
They felt
after
Zuma was on a queue to eat, but Mbeki preferred a woman. You understand? And this is where it will upset the people in my way, because they may tell you otherwise, but in reality, they've got political ambitions because they are career politicians. Yeah. So you suggest that he could parachute people? And the next one, what about investing in where people would actually vote in based on his cultural background?
If we were to ignore the politics of tribes in South Africa, would be ignorant. They do exist.
Alone.
So this is...
They showed us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think the best that can be done, there is still at least 1 year before we go to those elections. We must critically assess what is on the ground. We must critically assess the psychology of members from certain regions to say, okay, this one's... they are guided by this politics of tribe. This ones are guided by logic. This ones are guided by politics of what and what. Align with the values of the people on the ground, because at the end of the day, it's them who are going to vote. I mean, what's the use of saying, no, we'll never align with the people who want logic. We don't have logic here. You give them a lightweight who believes in politics of tribalism. They will not vote you. And then the party will be laughed at. They'll laugh at you. It's like with the MK now. We can tell you for free that no, that decision to remove Floyd was wrong. When was the last time they won a what? When the man was still the Secretary General. So we can at least see, or as much as there is the third biggest party. When Floyd said he's not going to be around for the next 10 years, he was telling the truth. And on the other hand, there's on the issue of Julia's strength in Limpopo. The man is not strong in Limpopo. You are strong in Limpopo, the ANC gets 70%. It's the only province that the ANC has 70%. So,
by the way, I said he's stronger there, but he's not even winning there.
Sick.
Yes, he's strong. So his strongest regions in South Africa is Limpopo and Northwest. But it's not taking municipalities.
Sick. And even Northwest, with the emergence of My Way, is going to have a challenge, because remember, Northwest has got this historical significance of Marikana. Julius can speak politics of the working class. No understanding there.
Okay.
Zero.
Okay, we are closing now. Number one, Ramaphosa made a big blunder with doing this commission of inquiry, because it has allowed a door into ad hoc committee in parliament, and we've got 2 Netflix shows embarrassing the African National Congress before the elections, because mainly, and people are getting hurt in the majorities ANC. What do you think Cyril should have done?
If, the Cyril, what he wanted to do, he wanted to have something that is premeditated to the point whereby they are guaranteed that it does not harm Senzo Mkhulu. Remember who was running as the Secretary General of the ANC in 2017 on the slate of President Cyril Ramaphosa? It was Senzo Mkhulu, who narrowly lost to Ace Makashuda. So that is an ally of Cyril. This is the guy who was collecting all the Tumamina money in KZN, giving it to delegates and everything. So these are political allies, and there were plans for the man that he must be the deputy president. He had presidential ambitions, by the way, so there were views that he must be the deputy president of the ANC.
So this suicidal move of commissions, is it Cyril trying to salvage anything good from Zuma?
No. He thought he was actually trying to protect him because they thought they were going to have a commission.
But there was suicidal.
It would happen. Agree. That's...
They thought they were going to cook it.
Exactly. And it was not easy to cook it.
Okay, number 2. The people are saying, and that's not me, and I always tell you that, unfortunately, we call people to come here and speak, but they're afraid to speak. People are saying Julius Malema has not come out as strong as they expect of him at the ad hoc commission, because he would even choose who to be present with, and he would AWOL during Moshabi into Castle Matale and Sibaya, who is his friend Sivia. And so they think Julius has underperformed on this thing. And they are saying there's a march coming of the EFF rejuvenating Phala. They say it's this response to this thing to shift away to say, hey, don't forget this, we've got Phala. So it's Julius reacting. Do you think it's true? And do you think political party members are used deliberately to fight these minor battles of people?
So now let's look into this, Kolobe. We're dealing with Castle Matale, we're dealing with Shadrach Sibia. These are the most compromised. Shadrach Sibia, by the way, is the most corrupt in that thing, more corrupt than even the National Commissioner when he's even the deputy. Castle Matale, we must remember what he did to Limpopo, collapsed the finances of Limpopo with Julius at that time. So, remember, there were issues of DJ Somebody, artists like AKA DJ Somebody being involved in this Mukwana's stuff, allegations of Matlanga and stuff like that. When somebody died, Julius posted something with that, we failed you. How do you fail someone? It means you know what is happening. You could have done something, but you didn't. Because the issue was that, no, it was a matter of collecting drugs, blah, blah, blah. They were in the wrong hands. Even Senzo Meiwa, by the way. They were supposed to get in the hands. So Julius says and say, we failed you. It means we are powerful enough even in this drug industry that we could have done something, but we didn't. And they killed you. So Julius knows what he's doing. He was deliberately absent in the when it came to the testimonies of those 2 individuals. Those are his people, we know. Castle Matale, these are voters of the EFF, for that matter. And the idea to deal with Ngunu, they think at some point will appoint Castle as the Minister of Police, and it's not going to happen. Because they know what appointing Castle, you are appointing, you guys like appointing Julius. You are just saying, no, drugs must just come in.
Okay. Mashiane, Politically Incorrect. It wasn't intended to be a long one, so let me leave it at that. We are both running for time. We're going to different areas of the country. It's been 11 months. Is it 11 months?
12, 13.
Yeah, 12. I think 12, 13 months of waiting for this
was on the 1st of October. Then. Of October.
Yeah, so it's 11 months in waiting now. So 12 months, 12 to 13. Yeah.
And by the way, I never agreed to take any podcast before I come here first. So as a sign of respect.
No, because we've been missing each other for the longest of time.
Absolutely.
You would see, I didn't even tell him that I told you 12 months ago that you are not going to succeed if you join MK. But let me not open it. Yeah, but let me not open it because it will make us last longer than we should.
No, I'll come again next month. I'll be out there again.
Thank you very much. You see, maybe it's gonna come back. We'll unpack more. Maybe the best you could do is write those questions there. Ask him those questions because when he comes, maybe he might answer. But we know you're gonna swear at him. Why do you do that?
Even international relations, we want to discuss great stuff.
Mashiane.